Hello, this is Ray Johnson from Exit Experts. First off, I hope and trust that all of you and yours are safe and sound in this challenging time. I'm here today to talk about my system for fundraising called FAST. It's a system designed to help business owners have the highest potential for raising the capital they need to run their company successfully. Whether you run a startup company or an established company, the FAST system can help you find new investors and secure the capital you need to build your business. The world of fundraising is vast, and there are many places you might be able to find capital to build your business. I learned some time ago, if you try to teach someone everything you know, they'll learn nothing. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to teach you everything I know about fundraising in 15 minutes. What I am going to do is give you an overview of the FAST fundraising system. But before I do that, I'm going to jump right to the conclusions of this presentation, and here it is. There are only 3 critical questions that you need to effectively answer for your investors to increase the chances of them investing. The first critical question is, how does your company make money? We need to make sure investors clearly and specifically understand how your company makes money. The second critical question is, how does the investor make money? We need to explain again very clearly how the investor will earn a return in the future. I realize we may not even know now how that's going to happen. It might be an IPO, it might be a sale to a strategic, but we have to give them some ideas on how it could happen and what the value might be. The third critical question is, why is it unlikely that the investor will lose their money? Of course, we can't guarantee it, but we need to concisely explain to the investor why the cards are stacked in your favor and why you have a much better chance of succeeding than of failing. Now, if we answer those 3 critical questions effectively for potential investors, and then they go home and remember them, and they're able to relay them to their spouse when the spouse asks, "Why are we taking money out of our bank account to invest in this company?" then you'll have a very good chance of getting an investment from potential qualified investors. How do I know? Let me give you a rapid 60-second intro to me and my background, and I'm going to go very quickly here. I spent a lot of time in big cities, lived in Dallas, Chicago, New York, Boston, San Diego, San Francisco, Miami, Tampa, and even Philly. Don't worry, it has nothing to do with witness protection or running from the law. But I actually grew up in a place like this, up in Michigan, where they're famous for making these. We're also famous for this, which is why I moved here. I grew up in a big family, and believe me, these people are a lot happier than they look in this so-called professional picture. After I left the loving embrace of my family, I went here and fell in love with this because of college football. I always wanted to be like him, an electrical engineer, because I was very interested in electronics and computers. But after I got my electrical engineering degree, I became a salesman. After a few years of being a salesman, I went here, which is this, and I got one of these because I always wanted to be one of these. Be nice now. Not here, but running something like this, a small business. And for the last 30 years, I've been the CEO and/or CFO of a number of successful small companies. Running small businesses was always a challenge, but I had a lot of success building revenue and raising capital. I'm proud to say that I helped a lot of investors make a lot of money, and I was always very concerned about losing investors' money. Fortunately, in 30 years, I never have. In my 30 years of running companies, I had a lot of great employees, but I have to admit, I got tired of dealing with personnel issues. So a number of years ago, I started Exit Experts, where I help small business owners put together the pieces of raising capital to grow their companies and also to sell their companies when they're ready to exit. For the first 20 years of my career, I had a lot of experience raising capital from individuals, from angel investors, and even strategic investors. But I didn't have experience with institutional investors, like some of these listed on the right side of the slide. So about 12 years ago, I joined together with this fine bearded fellow who was my best friend and my roommate from Harvard Business School. And we decided to do this. We didn't decide to go cliff jumping or go on vacation. We decided to start an impact technology venture capital fund. This one, the Aravipa Fund, invests only in clean tech or green technologies that help to make the planet a better place to live. We founded it in 2008 with the idea that it would be a 15-year investment fund. We've raised over $135 million. That's $25 million into our venture fund and $110 million from sidecar investors that have also invested in our portfolio companies. These investors are largely individuals, but also many family office investors. We've made 11 investments in 12 years, and 6 companies continue to grow, and we hope to see exits in the next few years with those companies. As you can see, I've learned a lot about fundraising from starting and building companies, and as a venture capitalist, from investing in companies. And although I've had significant success, I've also made a lot of mistakes along the way. But they've all been incredible lessons that I want to share with you. That's why I developed the FAST system. Let's go through the 4 steps briefly. Now, many people start with an elaborate business plan or pitch deck and believe that that is the key to finding potential investors. But in reality, the first step should be finding potential investors, qualified investors. Without a significant list of potential investors, the business plan or pitch deck is not going to take...
To listen to this full panel, join the Family Office Club by visiting familyoffices.com. We look forward to seeing you at our next live event.